Brad, B-R-A-D, Kleinfelter, K-L-E-I-N-F-E-L-T-E-R, A-B-C-D-E-F.
Very good.
Tom, Dick, and Harry.
So you can actually talk to me.
Okay. So just look at you.
Yeah, you're looking right at me.
Got it.
Yeah. So tell me how. I'm gonna revert back to my old TV days, but anyway, tell me about brewing. Actually, go back that part up. Before we even talk about brewing, where's the concept come from? What made you want to?
Brewing. Wow. The brewing, my brewing started as more of a joke between some college buddies of mine. We were sitting watching football in the fall and contemplated, how much money we're spending buying beer, and said, well, we just make our own beer, it'd probably be cheaper. And that's what happened. That's where it started. So we went and bought a very small homebrew kit and started making beer. In fact, some of the bottles are sitting on my desk right now from 20 years ago when we started. Some of it was good, some of it was really not good. But live and learn, and you progress from there. So that's how it started for me. Yeah.
So how'd you meet Todd?
Todd and Alice and I were connected through a mutual friend in Mount Gretna. Todd knew Bill through the biking world in Gretna, and we were connected to Bill through some friends. And Bill knew that we were starting this, and he knew that Todd was looking for a new adventure, and he introduced us. And we pretty much hit it off right away. Todd had always wanted to be part of a restaurant and a brewery and things of that nature, and we were doing that same thing. So it seemed like a really good good opportune time for both of us to meet, and it worked out really well.
Tell me about Allison's role in all this.
So Allison is what I call, and I'm saying this to everybody, Allison is my secret weapon. She is our CEO. She is, in her background, she is marketing and public relations and strategy development, and that's basically what she brings to us. Is she sets our business course and our strategy for what we want to do as far as growth, and she deals with all of our media relations, PR, advertising. She also does a lot of our, when we have bands, and she coordinates all the bands and events and things like that. So it's a very, very big job. It's a lot of hours, and she's a miracle worker, working a full-time job and doing that. But she is definitely our secret weapon here.
Before we get into brewing beer, tell me about the coffee shop and why it plays such an important role in.
So the coffee shop really is it's a natural extension of what we do in the brewery. We roast our own beans in-house. So we go from a raw product to the finished product of coffee right there. So it fits our brand, and also this is a natural fit for what we are here in the corner, at Lee's Corner. It was an opportunity for us to utilize the space more than just 11 to 10 for a pub side, where we have all this traffic and all these people that would benefit from having a coffee shop and a general store that they can get certain things, sundry items, pantry items, things of that nature, gifts to go, as well as breakfast items and stuff like that in the morning. So it was just a natural fit for us to maximize the space and bring another offering to the community that it didn't have.
All right. Switch that up a little bit. There he is.
Here I are.
All good stuff. All right, so fast forward to now. We're brewing beer. Your seasoned now.
Yes.
We've got that whole thing going on.
Yeah.
It took a while to get all the good stuff and all the right equipment and all that fun.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Right. Yeah.
But we're what, a full year in now.
We're a year and about 3 months in now. Yeah.
How many beers do you have on a consistent basis, and then what else do you bring?
Well, we always have 11 on tap, 10 at the main bar and 4 at the back bar, always on. And we have a cider, a guest cider we bring in. So we always have our 5 out of the serving tanks. We always have our 5, what we call our standard year-round beers. our Chickies Creek IPA, our Big Red Amber, our tailgate sipper, things like that. It's a variety between our very light and some dark beers. So there's a little bit of variety for people to come in. Then the other 5 taps are devoted to seasonal stuff and just one-off things that I just, hey, let's try this. This would be really fun to do. I have a Goza in the tank right now that I'll be getting out in another couple weeks. Something I've never done before. It's a one-off thing. I'm going to try this, see how it's coming along. We're getting into the fall season, so today I'm brewing our rye IPA. So it's an IPA, but it has a lot of rye malt in it. Gives a little bit of spicy character, which is really nice to bring you into the fall season. We have a Dunkelweizen in the tank right now that'll be released in about a week. It's a fall, darker wheat beer. I'll be doing a Belgian triple here in about a couple days. Again, a nice fall beer. So we're starting to get our fall lineup in the pipeline right now. So it's a little bit different variety. It's a changing up for the season. It's also a lot of fun for me because it's something new to do, which is always fun to do. It's the variety is what makes things fun.
What kind of people come here for I should say Wednesday to Sunday? Sure. So we are we really tout ourselves as a family-friendly environment. In fact, we're voted one of the top 10 family-friendly breweries in America in our very young infancy stage. So we're very proud of that fact. We have a lot of really great local community support, because we do a lot of different music acts, local music acts, as well as our Thursday trivia. We bring in a nonprofit organization, a charity organization, and the proceeds from the trivia go toward that community organization. So we've built a really good relationships with our community. We have a really good, strong backing from our community. They appreciate what we are, being that we're trying to be the everyone's neighborhood, living room. The welcoming environment we have, the soft features we have is very inviting, very, it makes you feel like you want to stick around for a while. And that's what we're shooting for, is a place that people come and they feel comfortable and they can talk with their family, meet new friends, and just really have a good time. So every time, because I'm partial to this place, obviously, but every time I finally get someone to go, and they're like, I had no idea it was going to be like that. I thought it was just going to be beer.
Yeah.
What do you tell someone? Like,
what's
what
our
do you guys do?
what's our differentiator? What sets us apart?
Yeah.
So what I believe sets us apart are a number of things. One, the coffee shop and general store. That we've paired that with our offering really does give us a differentiator that other breweries in the area don't have, which I think a lot of people have really gravitated toward and appreciate. Some of the other things is our food offering. We want to be more than what you find at some other breweries around here. We want the food to match and stand on its own compared to the beer. We have really great beer offering. We want to have the food that would match the same. So we put in a full kitchen with a really great staff in the back that puts out some fantastic food. And I'm really proud of that side of it, that we have a full offering here to provide people.
What do you say when someone says, "Can I bring my kid?"
Well, we are family friendly, so we have preschool book readings in the mornings. We have art classes for kids. We have music for kids. We have our local churches come in and we do Christmas caroling during the winter season. So there's a lot of things we do that are family oriented, and our menu is geared towards kids as well. There's a lot of family or kid friendly things on the menu as well. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about how do you brew. What do you do first? We're talking about literally grain.
Early grain. So the grain, the fun part of this is carrying all the grains upstairs to where the grain storage is. That's always the fun part. Once we get done with all of our storage, I pull out the recipe I'm going to make for the day, and I prepare the system by getting the water in and getting it heated up, pulling out all the grains and getting everything set and ready. On brew days, it starts by milling the grains, grinding them out, dropping in the mash tun, adding the hot water, and letting it stew in there for about an hour. That's called the mash. So on brewing days, what happens is I prepare the system and I start milling the grains and dropping into the mash tun, where I add the hot water, and that's where it stews in there for about an hour, and that creates wort. What is that? What we call wort, which is a sweet liquid. From there, it's transferred over to the boil kettle, and it boils for about an hour, sometimes 90 minutes, depending on the style of beer I make. And that's where I add in the different things like hops or other additives that I'm trying to create the flavor and flavor profile of the beer. Once the boil is done, it goes through our wort chiller, where it cools the wort down from boiling down to about 70 degrees in about 45 minutes into one of the fermenters. And that's where the yeast is added, and then it cooks in there. The yeast go to work, and it creates alcohol. And so over the course of a week, the wort is changed to alcohol, and after the yeast are done doing their job, it gets transferred over to a bright tank where it is carbonated and then ready for packaging. It's either transferred to one of the serving tanks that goes directly to the bar, or we keg it and send it out to our different distributors that use our beer in their establishments.
So, from start to finish, how long does it take me to get a nice, fresh beer?
It depends on the beer style. So, an IPA, a pale ale, 3 weeks roughly, sometimes a month. Again, depending on the style of the beer. If it's a darker beer like a stout or a porter, it's going to be closer to 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks. Yeah.
That's cool. Tell me, what's next? You know, I mean, you've done so much with that, but you've done literally so much in the last year.
Yeah. There you go.
So you've done that much, and you know how you breathe, but at the same time,
it's been a very fast first year, and we have accomplished a lot. But we feel that's the tip of the iceberg for us, really. We haven't maximized this yet. We're just starting to get our beer out distribution to other locations, so we have a pretty ambitious goal to get more of that done. And then, we have a second location in mind. We want to spread our wings outside the walls of this location to a tasting room. And we're exploring different areas right now where we want to place that. And that'll be next calendar year. That'll be a big thing we're going to be looking at for a second location. Yeah. So there's no moss growing under the feet. That's for sure. There's always something going on. Yeah.
Like you have a location. This is just conversation. You have a location picked out.
No, nothing picked out. We're between the Lidditz Lancaster area and Hershey right now. Those are the two main areas we're looking at. As far as demographics, what's there and what's not, those are the places that make the most sense in this neighborhood. So we'll see where we finally land, but that's where we're looking.
So this one's more geared towards the marketing side of things. But if someone says, I like to go to Trogs, or I like to go to St. Boniface, or I want to try something new. And they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
They just met you and you're in CBS.
Yep. Well, so the one thing that I like to say is, we are lucky to be in the area we are. We have a lot of really great breweries around. Now, Trogs is a different animal. They are a big regional guy. They're very well known. They make really great beer. When you talk about some of the others around here, you got Snitz Creek, you've got St. Boniface, you got Columbia Kettle Works down in Columbia. There's some really, really great breweries around us. We are very lucky in that respect. And we all have our nuances. Trogs is known for a little bit more hoppy beers, a little bit stronger alcohol content beers, and that's their style. St. Boniface is not as hoppy and not as high of alcohol content, and that's their style. Mine, I tend to be more of a traditionalist. I don't use a lot of adjuncts. I don't use a lot of syrups and things of that nature. Fancy things that there's a lot of new things out there that people are trying. I'm more of a traditionalist. I like brewing the traditional method. I like hops, but I'm not a hop head. I don't chase the latest greatest hops. Belgians are very big for me. I love making Belgian beers. I like drinking Belgian beers. So I'm always going to have a Belgian on at some point during the year. Right now we have our cherry Belgian wheat on, and it is a fantastic beer. The Belgian Double, the Belgian Triple that are coming up are also really, really well received beers. So that's what I tell people is if you want a good traditional beer that is not overly hoppy, that's going to make your head spin off. That you enjoy the different flavor profiles that craft brings. I just say give us a try. I think you're going to be pretty surprised and delightfully pleased at what you have here. Yeah.
That's exactly what I want.
Good.
That's